What's up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. Yeah, we're still on this. Been in Halfords, you've got some of this weld through primer. Basically I want to get all this cleaned up because all this is going to get covered. That's the next bit. But I don't want there to be bare steel on the inside of it because it's going to, it's going to have a wall to it and all the rest of it. So it's getting a coat of this stuff which will protect it, and you can still weld to it. It's all good. It's just that I don't want it to basically rot from the inside. That would be bad. So this is going to go through the shot blaster just to take all this smuts and smew and discoloration and bits and stuff and all that malarkey off. Give it a rub down with acetone. Get it nice and clean and let that dry. And then it's getting a coat of that. And then I can start putting a pretty frock on it, eh? Oh yeah. I have now lost officially half a stone in 2 weeks. So none of my trousers fit. So if you get a sudden flash of bum crevice, I am sorry, and I will try and edit it out. Right, so that's all dry. Ideal. So basically I'm just trying to hash out a bit of a plan as to what I'm going to do on this bit. What I think I'm going to do is do the bottom bit first. So I want to have a tiny, I know Stevo said not to bother, but I just think it would look better. So I'm going to have a tiny little lip up there, only like a 5mm thing. It's going to come straight for a bit, and then it's going to bend down and it's going to meet up here. Going to have to chomp the holes in it first up, and this centerpiece, because that centerpiece is going to get cut shorter, so that middle bit is going to bend down a little bit earlier, if that makes sense. Found an old bit of tube, used this before, you've seen that plenty of times, but that is what I'm going to use to get that bend in. I'm hoping it's long enough. We might get away with it. It's a little bit short, but we'll see how we go. So now I'm just trying to figure out dimensions and stuff. So if that little lip is going to be 5mm, we're using 1mm, so we've got a bend allowance as well. 1mm. So I'll probably do it to 8mm to start off with, and I'll do that in Brenda the Bender. So this next bit, before the bend starts, we'll just shove a straight edge on here. To about there. That's going to be up about 5mm. Well, not 5mm, but a bit less than that. So where this rule touches this bodywork at 95, that there is 95, then the bend is going to start. And I want to cut this piece long so I've got something to clamp that down to and hold on to it. So we just go long. So if from there to there diagonally is 80, I'm going to need a bit to hold on to and clamp. And I'll just trim that off after. And it's one continuous curve until it meets this base plate. So I reckon do like 130 odd ish. From there to there and from there to there is 130 millimeters. That gives me a bit extra to play with as well. That work out? Should do. Yeah, that'll be alright. Cool. Okay, so width. We're going to come in slightly shorter. So, how much shorter do I want it to come in? I don't want it to come right to this edge, but I do want it to lean in a little bit. So, or do I? Would it look better just straight? I don't think it would. I think it needs to come in a little bit. Well, if I do it as so that's 152.5. I call it 305. I'm probably going to want to take 5mm off each side. Brings it to about there. Yes. Let's go 147 on each side. 147 meters. Right, okay. Let's chop that out and get that marked up. Right, so that's the basic bit chopped out. There's my Sharpie and my square and my rule, that'll do. Oh yeah, we might be having a change of plans. There's a fella he's commented a couple of times actually, and he does have a point, so I just wanted to mention it. The oil cooler that sits on it is normally like this. I think it's just naked. It's got a frame that holds it in place and that's it basically. We are sticking it in a box, and one thing he did comment on is that we're going to be restricting airflow. What was his name? Panty Sniffer or something like that. After the last video he commented again saying, well, yeah, we're still going to be restricting airflow, and he does sort of have a point, because ordinarily this lot isn't here. This lot basically is just covering frame tube and the oil line. So I ain't fussed about these bits here at all. And this is going to be minimal. It, you know, air's still going to be going through the middle of it and everything else. It's this bit in the middle that that has got me thinking that he could be right. So I've had a chat with Stevo. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep the radius here so it kind of comes up around the header pipes, but I'm not having this centre bit down the middle. I know it's going to be hitting, you know, full on the front of the engine and all the rest of it then. I might do a little, I don't know, I might do a little something down here, but it's going to be dead short if I do. Either that or I'm just going to lop it off and just have it as a nice neat, you know, sort of a finish to it really. What I could do, I suppose, is just curve that like that all the way around. That could look quite good, in which case I'll just cut out a bit that's no good for me. But you're going to have the front tyre sitting in the middle there, so having something that shape could be, you know, curved on the bottom going to a square at the top, so it kind of, you know, like that. That could work. I might do that actually. Yeah, I might do that. I'm going to have to phone Stevo back. Right, I've just had a chat with Stevo. He likes the idea, so that's what I'm doing. It's going to make covering it a bit more interesting, but that's what I'm doing. There's my compass. Right, so what am I about? See, I can still see my centre line, which is lovely. I knew I put it there for a reason. So if I shove that on there, oh come on, open up. Alright, let's move it up a bit. That'll do. So what I'm on about is doing that. Just to put a curve, so you get a sharper curve at the corners and a smoother curve up there. Just because that way it ain't going to be straight, it is going to be a bit of a faff to plate, I think, because I'll be coming up to this end here. That's going to be one side of the box, and it's literally a case of boxing this middle bit in. But that way I can lose all this bit. That'll allow airflow between the headers, that will hit the engine and spill out and everything else. And given that we're not going to be running a front mudguard on this bike, it might frame the front end quite nicely. So I might do that. I might even put a bigger curve in the top. Right, hang on, let's have a play. Right, that's the first bit done. There's a few people said, why do you always DA stuff? A couple of reasons really. One, it's clean and it's nicer to work with clean metal than it is grubby, horrible, dirty stuff. But also it gives you a sense for what the finished thing is going to look like. You know, it evens everything out a little bit more. I just prefer it. You don't need to, but I like doing it that way. The other thing is when I put this bend across here into, you know, for this little return lip, I did it in Brenda the Bender, but I didn't want it to be like a real sharp edge to it sort of thing. So it's obviously bent from the other side, so that side's a lot, you know, it's a bit tighter because you've got the thickness of the material, but I just didn't clamp it down as much. You know, it was snugged up, so it wasn't going to move anywhere, but as you bend it, the flex in the platen, it just means you get like a little bit of a radius to it, which I quite like, and I think it suits. Still need to trim this down, but we'll do that when we box that bit in. So he's basically getting there. This weld through primer stuff is horrible to weld through. I use it all the time, but because it's like a paint, when you go to strike an arc up, it sort of spits and spatters a bit if you use the same heat settings and feed settings as you would do normally, just welding the metal. If I was to put a tack on here, jobs are good. Start it on this with exactly the same settings, and it just doesn't arc in the same way. So it's alright once it's warm, you know, you get a few dabs into it, but yeah, it's not the greatest of stuff. So it's all been welded across here. I dressed all that up. I welded the bottom edge as well. Obviously the inside here is open. I don't know if you can you see? Not sure you can see here. Can you see that? The curve there actually meets this top piece. So all I did in the middle of it was drill a hole and do like a puddle weld, just like a plug weld basically, to tie the outer skin to the inner skin. Just that way it will stop any, yeah, if you get vibrations and stuff in it, it will just stop any droning, because it just ties everything together. Right, so next bit I guess is fill these bits in down the side. Right, okay, so basically I want a piece of metal to come in here. I don't want to make it all nadry and bits and bobs and everything else, so did the duct tape trick. Oh, this is going to be a pain, isn't it? Look at that, right across it. Okay. This is curved, so obviously it doesn't lay flat, so we're going to have to go a little bit big, and then somehow, and I haven't got a Scooby owl, but I'm going to have to shape this. I've got a piece of tube which kind of would do that bit. The bit I'm worried about is getting the nice corner in here. I'll stick that down there for now. I'll go, I don't know, 5 or 6 mil on the outside. Right, this bit is being a complete and total pain in the ass. Oh, I don't know if far off. I made this bit up in the middle. I've since had to chop it in two. And the reason being is that at this end I want it to be a nice 90 degree, but at the other side I want it to be a curve. I've got various bits of tube and stuff like that. None of them are the right diameter, so I'm having to do it in 2 pieces, and then once I get this one formed I'll fit that in, and I'm going to have to put a weld down the middle and dress it up. But what a palaver. I've made up some awesome swear words. But I think we're there. There is a tiny gap at the bottom here, and what I'm thinking is if I tack, 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 so the top edge ain't gonna move, it is basically there in the corner. I just need to kind of manhandle it about and get it right. Because that'll give this top piece a bit more strength whilst I'm faffing about with the other half. Right. Oh, hello. I did warn you. Right. This is just a massive fiddle. Didn't really want to do it in 2 parts if I'm honest, but it's a really awkward shape to try and get right. So I'm just going to have to do it in 2 pieces. There's no 2 ways about it. If I end up with a little bit of a gap in the middle, that's fine. I can spot that with weld and I can dress it all up and everything else. There is the tiniest little bit of a bow in this back end. Tiny, like, I don't know, a mil, something like that. And we kind of got there when I was doing all the shapes and stuff. The way I've been doing it is I've got a block, where is it? I've got a block which I can sandwich the corner in, stick that in the vise. So that gives me my pointy end. Then I can start clamping it in from this side with another block as well. And then with this tube, it's basically a case of trying to form this side in to get it to a curve where it's close enough to the back of the cooler that I can, you know, stick it down with a couple of clamps and get some tacks in. I mean, it's a reasonably snug fit. Where are you? Right. So you can see it's reasonably snug around there. There is like a, I don't know, mil and a half gap right down in this corner. Well, I can dab that with weld, that's easy enough. And on the top, there's the tiniest little gap up here. Again, I can dab that. So it's a reasonable fit, and it's kind of, you get an angle there and it's curved here, which is kind of what I was after. But to try and make the one piece that then just slots in and blah, with the kit I've got, just, it ain't happening. Because it's not a very, great deal of space for a transition between, you know, right angle and curve, when all you've got is clamps and bits of metal. Right, Stevo's down at the weekend, so well, you'll see him in for you it's going to be in a minute, for me it's going to be tomorrow. So anyway, be nice to see him again. I haven't seen him in ages. Chat with him all the time on the phone and let him know what we're doing and all that sort of stuff. It's going to be good actually, because whilst I'm carrying on with this lot and try and get the other half in there, he can be, I want him to rebuild the front of the bike so we can like hoof it in and see how much room we've got and what it looks like, and if we need to tweak and change anything and all that malarkey. Because if we do, now is the time to do it, rather than once it's all got its pretty frock on and it's all dressed up and everything else. So that'd be quite sweet. Stevo's back in the house.
Hi, folks.
You've not been down the knees, have you?
Well, I was down last week.
Well, it dipped in and out, but that was like dipping.
Yeah,
in
but
and
now
out.
we're back to, to normality now, isn't it?
This thing, I'm getting teased off with now. I really want to have a go at doing anything apart from a bloody oil cooler surround.
Well, that's all right. We finished off the design for the exhaust earlier.
Yep, we have. We have decided what we're doing with the exhaust and we're set. We ain't changing it, are we?
Nope.
So we're doing that.
Not until next week.
And this was all going really, really well. And then I completely went and ballsed it up. I don't know if you can, I'll do the zoomy thing. I'll put some big bloody holes in it with the welder. Basically, we're dressing it all up. We've got the cutouts for the all lines. Got all this lot sort of, but I've still got a bit of dressing up and stuff to do down here. That was all going lovely, and then I noticed there was, you could just see where I dressed it down, you could just sort of see the seam. So I thought, that's all right. Blob over it with the welder and I'll dress it down again. Blobbed over it with the welder and blew 7 big holes in it. So we've had a rethink and his nibs has come up with what he wants.
Which I think is a damn fine idea, actually.
One thing we've always gone with this bike is just minimalist is what we want. And when I explained what I wanted to do with all the sides of it, he's gone, nah.
No.
So
to be fair, earlier on this morning, before you blew holes in it, it was actually coming together and looking together and polishing up quite nice.
Yeah, but you'd never know that now.
Well, not from this angle, no. But,
so anyway, I ain't going to tell you what it is, you're just going to have to wait and see. But I really want to do something other than this bloody oil cooler surround. We know what we're doing on the top. That's easy. That's a doddle. The side bits, I know what I want to do. It's just a case of figuring out how to do it. So it could all go Pete Tong again. But I just want to do something other than the oil. Oh yeah. I had a thought about it. We've got some bits and pieces coming for ASBO. I've got the master cylinder for the brakes and the calipers are coming. And we've got
some discs.
Yeah, he's got some 320 discs, but we don't know if they're going to fit on the wheel or anything yet.
Should do.
The brakes, you'll see them, they're coming, and I've gone for 955i calipers because they fit the forks. Yep. And the master cylinder is off for 955i as well. So potentially could have reused the one over there. Works a treat, it's all been serviced and everything else, but you have to be careful with getting the right master cylinder with the calipers. So I've just gone for what was paired up as stock on the 955. Because I know it's all going to fit, I know it's all going to work, I know it's going to be way better than what we've got. But I did have a thought.
Yeah.
Well, when I project it, ASBO, antisocial behaviour order is what it stands for.
Yeah.
But everything on that bike, apart from the engine, is going to be changing. Because I'm building my own frame. It's going to have different wheels on it, different forks, different brakes, different everything. I'm making my own tank, making my own swing arm. So it's all. So the name's probably going to have to change.
That's true, because it won't really be
ASBO. So, but I like the idea of having letters that mean what it is, like antisocial behaviour order, shorten it down as ASBO.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, it's like clever little interesting tweaks on a really inexpensive Suzuki, but I can't use that.
No, that would. You don't need to write it for me.
You got it?
Yeah, I've got it all right. Yeah, clever little interesting tweaks. Yeah.
On a really inexpensive Suzuki. Can't do it. I thought of knowingly not OEM built as well, but I can't use that either.
Yeah, no, that's a no-no.
It took you longer to figure out the second one than the first one.
What can I say?
So I don't know. We're gonna have to come up with a different name, but we've got loads of time to figure that one out. So, what are we doing as far as exhaust go then? You're going to get a standard set of headers because that's the starter for 10, isn't it?
Yeah. So starter will be get a standard set of headers, or probably get a set of Delta headers. We're gonna make our own collector box, didn't we?
Yeah, make our own collector. Well,
we'll just have
only the headers that we want.
2 bits of tube going straight out the back.
Truth be told, the headers are probably going to get chopped off a bit as well.
Yeah.
But
so headers,
that's just a starter for 10.
And then we've got twin exhausts coming out either side.
Spoiling the surprise.
Yeah, but it could be. We could have those big sort of Harley pipes with big flashes and
we could
going up at 45 degrees at like
Spitfire
12,
thing like that. Yeah.
Or we could just go Spitfire pipes coming out the side.
Yeah, we ain't doing that either.
No, we've made our mind up.
Yeah. So Jack in the unit, not this next door, the one next door, he's got the yokes at the minute. And he's got a big tank full of dichloromethane which he's dunked him in. Apparently it works a treat for getting powder coat off.
we will go and see it shortly.
Yeah, but then we can get them back in. We did sort of have to muller the bearing to get that bit done.
Have to be replaced anyway.
We can use that one just for mock up anyway. Yeah. That'll be all right. And then we're going to shovel this lot back together again and just see how much room we have got. I think losing the lip around that is probably going to buy us about 10mm more clearance.
Yeah.
Which, depending on what's going on with forks, that could be a really good thing. The other thing, Steve, come on, show me your handiwork. Your bits. Show him your bits.
Wow.
He's been busy.
So it's only taken me a couple of hours.
Well, that's all right, but they fit.
Well, they will do when we shave them.
All these are for is there's little infills on the side of the frame.
Yeah.
Where you normally get these little plastic cap things. The only reason it's there is so you can get to the top bolt on the shock, on the stock bike, where it ain't stock.
No.
So that hole doesn't do anything, and it just looks stupid with these on. So we're plating that in. So he's got all that ground down and sorted. I can get them welded on. We just need to put a little bit of a bend in one side, which is weird. It's not on the other side, but anyway, we can do that. You can use the thing. You can do it.
What?
The thing, the new thing.
The new thing?
The vice bracelet.
Oh!
It is quite good actually. I've used it a few times.
New tools.
So we can get all that done and crack on. And then, literally, it is a case of do the exhaust, and then everything that's in your box we're going to stick on it.
Yeah, I've got a brand new Van Hill throttle assembly at home that needs to come down as well.
Bring it up along with my discs.
We need to make the decision on what we're doing with either clip-ons or top yoke and risers.
That's all down to you. get some headers and then we can have a play.
Yeah.
Right, that's it. In other news, actually I'll leave that for a different one.
No, tell me now.
Ah.
Oh.
We have discussed it, you've obviously forgotten. Anyway, that's where I'll leave it today. On a low note, I hate that bloody thing,
With
I really
holes.
do.
Multiple holes.
I really hate this thing now. I just want to do something different. Can I do something different? I don't
Yeah.
really care what it is.
Yeah.
I just want to do something other than this.
You can put the infill panels in on the frame.
Awesome, I'll do that next then. Cool. That's it, that's where I'm leaving it. Thank you very much for tuning in. And we will see you again next time.
Soon.
Later.
Later.